ICE is now arresting people with green cards. Welcome back to the channel. ICE is now arresting people with green cards. Welcome back to the channel. This is another update, another immigration update as far as what's going on in the United States of America with immigration. Please pay attention. The latest headline says ICE is now arresting people with green cards as Marco Rubio promises deportations. There's a lot of stuff that's going on that people said could not happen, but they're happening. So it's important that we pay attention. Ignorance is not an excuse. Immigrations and customs enforcement agents have been set loose on people with green cards and visas as Secretary of State Marco Rubio vows to deport anyone who supports Hamas or any terrorist organization. Now, the way in which this is rolled up, this can put anybody in trouble. Long gone are the days of your constitutionally guaranteed peaceful, non-violent protest. You can go look it up. In the Constitution, you are granted, it is your right to peaceful, non-violent protest. But we've seen that not work already. I'll give you a big example. Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick simply took a knee. Peaceful, non-violent. And yet still, the response to him taking a knee, which is exercising his constitutional right, if they could have thrown him out of the country, they would have. But he was born and raised in the United States of America, so they did everything else they could to include take away his career in the NFL that he worked so hard for, and every sponsorship that he had going for him, and ruined him in as many ways as possible, to include defamation of character and all of the above. So, those of you out here with green cards and visas, you better pay attention. So Marco Rubio on Sunday, he warned that we will be revoking the visas and or the green cards of Hamas supporters in America so they can be deported. Hours after ICE agents arrested a young man by the name of Mahmoud Khalil. Mahmoud Khalil, thought to be a green card holder who led student protests at Columbia University last year. By the way, the president, Donald Trump, has completely defunded Columbia University because Columbia University gave their students the right to protest peacefully on campus. And the lead student who organized the protest is now in custody. Marco Rubio shared an article about Khalil's arrest on Sunday night. Attorney Amy Greer said that Khalil was told that he was being arrested after his student visa had been revoked. But she pointed out he is not here on a student visa. He has a green card. He is a permanent resident. She thought, this is his attorney, she thought it was a mix-up, and although they were quick to arrest him, they would let him go because he has a green card. The attorney then told ABC News that the arresting officers were informed of Khalil's legal status, but they detained him anyways. The BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, reported that Khalil, who is a Palestinian refugee who was raised in Syria, was inside his university-owned home when he was detained. She added that agents hung up the phone on her as she tried to find out more about the incident. Why was he detained? Where is he being held? Tricia McLaughlin, a Department of Homeland Security spokesperson, said the move was in support of President Trump's executive orders prohibiting anti-Semitism. So you can get out here with your green card and you can protest. And if your protest is deemed anti-Semitic or siding with anti-Semitism or defending what they call a terrorist group, then that green card could be snatched away from you and you could be deported. Under this Donald Trump's immigration, not only that, if you have that green card, be very, very careful. They are definitely trying to deport people with green cards. Khalil led activities aligned to Hamas, a designated terrorist organization. This is what she said. This is the Department of Homeland Security spokesperson. This is how she justified taking this green card holder into confinement, arresting him, taking him out of his home, and processing him for deportation. Khalil led activities that are assigned to Hamas, a designated terrorist organization, she said, of the former Columbia University graduate student. He was a leading figure in a protest last year when supporters set up a huge tent encampment on the lawn of the university. Other protesters seized control of an academic building before the police arrested them. Khalil, however, was not involved in that matter. Okay, so when Israel started dropping bombs and they went to war recently, and that entire piece of the Gaza was destroyed, this is what they were protesting about. A lot of people were saying a lot of women and children were being killed. And they were protesting that a lot of women and children are being killed. And that this is not a war because there were no armies who were fighting back. There were nobody who were fighting back on the other side. It was just Israel dropping bombs. That's what they were saying. And as they were saying that, what they did not know is that their protest to stop the killing of women and children when those bombs were being dropped, their protest was being marked as anti-Semitic, and their protest was being marked as supporters of Hamas. Me personally, I have no bones in that fight. That's why I've never spoken about it. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'm black, so I'm staying out of those people's business because none of those people on either side are here for the best interest of my people. So that ain't my war. I don't have a fight. You won't catch me at a protest. You won't see me make a video saying XYZ. They just got to work that out. I see Donald Trump already doing commercials like he plans to turn the Gaza Strip into this place where people can go and sip water out of coconuts and relax on exotic beachfront resorts and spend money and enjoy life kind of thing. But right now it's war-torn, broken to pieces. Well, that's their business. ICE and the Department of State are committed to enforcing President Trump's executive orders and to protecting U.S. national security, is what Tricia McLaughlin, Department of Homeland Security spokesperson, said. The same statement was also shared by Homeland Security on X, that used to be Twitter, on Monday. Senior Trump aide Stephen Miller also posted, although he did not link his message to Khalil's arrest. Now, Khalil, a green card holder, is what we're here about. Because there are a lot of people who are saying they won't arrest you if you have a green card for joining a protest. Well, America exercises sole and exclusive control over admission to our country, is what he wrote. We are a sovereign nation. Admission is a privilege into this nation, an extraordinary privilege, not a right. In other words, and I've told people this before, it is a privilege, not a right. You don't have a right to be in the United States of America. And if you read the fine prints when you got your green card, it says that it can be confiscated at any minute without even reason. They don't have to give you a reason. They're not obligated to give you an explanation, even though they usually do. Very important for you to remember this, green card holders. It is a privilege for you to be granted access into the United States of America, not a right. There's no law that says this is your rights. So they can take it back whenever they feel like it, even without explaining to you why they took it back. So those who sympathize with terrorism, they're unwelcomed on our shores, and they will be denied entry, and if they are here already, they will be sent home. Meanwhile, Greer told ABC News that she doesn't know whether her client, this is the client of Khalil, the individual who has the green card, who is in custody. At this moment, she says, I don't even know where they are holding him. Overnight, we filed a habeas corpus petition. For those of you who are not familiar with the law, habeas corpus simply means show us the corpse, show us the body. Need to know, locate this individual, and explain to us why he's being held, under what charges, what's the purpose of it, show the evidence. Overnight, we filed a habeas corpus petition on Mahmoud's behalf, challenging the validity of his arrest and his detention, his attorney said. Currently, we do not even know Mahmoud's precise whereabouts. He has a wife, his heavily pregnant wife, who is an American citizen, could not even find him at the ICE facility in Elizabeth, New Jersey, where he was supposed to be, where he had apparently been transferred to. His attorney then said that she suspects that he might have been taken to Louisiana. Imagine going from New Jersey to Louisiana. She said the arrest represents the government's open repression of student activism and political speech. The U.S. government has made clear that they will use immigration enforcement as a tool to suppress that speech. This simply means that only American-born citizens will be able to protest peacefully, might add, if that is their constitutional right. It's supposed to be the constitutional right extended to green card holders as well. But the status of a green card holder is that they gave you a privilege and they can revoke it at any time. So if you dare exercise that right to peaceful protest and they don't agree with what you're protesting about, it could be deemed as you siding with terrorism and your green card revoked. Only U.S. citizens they won't be able to harm so far. Now, the news comes after a Truth Social diktat from Donald Trump on March 4th concerning illegal protests. Quote unquote, he said all federal funding will stop for any college, any school, or university that allows illegal protests. Illegal protests. Agitators will be imprisoned or permanently sent back to the country from which they came. American students will be permanently expelled. So those of you with green cards, you are already warned. You will be permanently sent back to the country from which you came. And American students who are born in America who they cannot send anywhere else, they will be permanently expelled from that school. Or, depending on the crime, they will be arrested. No masks. No masks are allowed at these peaceful protests. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Unquote. Donald Trump posted. The Department of Homeland Security did not immediately respond to a request by the media house who was trying to figure out the location of where Khalil was being held. Now, Mahmoud Khalil, most recent update as of this morning, March 11th, 2025. Apparently, they took him before a immigration courts to get him thrown out of the country that quick. He was lucky. A judge blocked his deportation at last minute. That is just for now. That is just for now. We'll continue to keep up with this to see where this goes. But like I said, pay attention to what's happening, because it's not all hunky-dory. And if you have a green card, on previous videos that we've put up before, we explained to you the position of the green card. Now is not a time for green card holders to be traveling outside of the country extensively, to be staying out for long periods of time, to be involved joining people who are protesting. You're risking it all. And if you came this far and your goal was to make it from a green card holder to a citizen, then you're jeopardizing that. Now, if that's what you want to do because you believe in what you're standing up for, then by all means, go ahead. But most people I know that hold a green card, they have plans of becoming a citizen. And they don't want to frivolously lose that green card, because the privileges that go with it is what they're really after. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. Again, ignorance is not an excuse. This is the highway of information 2025 we're living in. You've been warned. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you're notified of every update that we put up on this channel. Make sure when you hit the notification bell that you actually select the setting that says send me all notifications. Otherwise, you will be notified only every now and then. I'm out. Peace.